Everybody, and a very pleasant Thursday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers take the field to start the fourth game of the four-game series, and a particular highlight tonight, the fact that Kenta Maeda will face Ichiro Suzuki later on, perhaps even in the first inning. The game is televised back to Japan, and we understand it's about 11 a.m. in Japan tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, here's Don Mattingly's lineup, and it's posted this way. Dee Gordon leading off at second base, Martin Prado at third, Christian Yelich in left field, Giancarlo Stanton in right, Justin Bour at first base, Ichiro in center field, JT Realmuto, the catcher, Adeiny Echevarria at short, and Jose Fernandez on the mound. For the lineup card, you can see the Dodger names, and when you get to number 9, it's in Japanese, and that, one way or another, means Maeda. So we'll have a Japanese influence tonight, and especially when they meet each other. While we have a time, we can talk about it, the fact that when Ichiro came to Seattle, Maeda was 14 years old. He was a soccer player, a little baseball, but all of the games that Ichiro played in was sent back to Japan. And Maeda, watching him on television, just absolutely became his number one hero, and we'll see him hook up later on. And naturally, some Japanese fans, of course, taking in the ballgame. But right now, it will be Dee Gordon to lead it off. Kenta into his windup, and the first pitch of the game, fastball runs away from the plate, 1 ball and no strikes. Dee Gordon. Well, once upon a time when he played for the Dodgers, he had some big games here. In fact, he had a 4-hit game here. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way, and Maeda delivers, and that's on the corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kenta Maeda. He's about 6 feet, but only 155 pounds. Born in one of the great years for the Dodgers out here, 1988. 1-1 pitch, chopper to shortstop. Seager is on it, flips it over easily, and Gordon is retired, and we have 1 away. Let's take a look now at the Dodgers defensively, and they shape up this way, with Gonzalez and Utley on the right side, Seager and Kendrick on the other, Crawford, Peterson, and Puig in the outfield, Grandal behind the plate. So we have 1 away, and Martin Prado coming up. Howie Kendrick, a little slow in getting started. Remember, he missed a lot of spring training, and it's pretty evident, but he's such a good ball player, it'll take him a little time, and he'll get back to normal, and playing third instead of second tonight. First pitch is in at the knees for a strike to Prado. 0-1 the count. As we've mentioned during the broadcast, Prado is really one of the big leaders on the ball club, and, as usual, leading 4 for 8 in the series. Veteran right-hand hitting third baseman swings and doesn't get it, and the count 0-2. Prado missed the early first 2 games because he was home, and he was on the point when his wife delivered a baby girl. 0-2 to Martin Prado, with Christian Yelich on deck. Maeda into the windup, back he comes, hard ground ball inside third, down the line, past the diving Kendrick, and on his way into second base is Prado. So immediately, the Miami Ball Club gets a man in scoring position and a couple of big hitters coming up, Yelich and Stanton. Double inside third and down the line. It brings up a point, too, so far in the series. With runners in scoring position, Miami is 7 for 27 with 8 runs batted in. That's a .259, .260 batting average. The Dodgers are 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position. So Prado takes advantage of a mistake by Maeda. With 2 strikes on the hitter, Kenta tried to stay around the plate, and Prado punished him with the double. So now, here is Christian Yelich, who has turned into a heck of a ball player. Left-hand hitter takes an off-speed pitch for a strike, and the count 0-1. Christian from Thousand Oaks went to Westlake High School, hitting .371, and of course he has the big job trying to get aboard with Giancarlo Stanton hitting behind him. Maeda set, ready, comes back to the plate and high, and the count 1 strike. As you can imagine, great deal of interest. The Dodgers are on the railing watching their pitcher, and Miami is on the railing watching the opposition. They've heard and read so much about him. So the Marlins are watching, the Dodgers are too, but right now some of them are watching Clayton Kershaw. The 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on, line to left, starting back, then stopping, making the catch is Crawford. So a line drive out to left, and with 2 down, Giancarlo Stanton coming up.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Stanton, who really punishes the Dodgers. He's 4 for 10, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and for good measure, a stolen base. In his career, he's hitting .322 and 12 home runs, 30 runs batted in, a slugging percentage over .700 against the Dodgers. So Giancarlo, another local boy, went to Notre Dame High School. Maeda ready, off speed, that's whacked to center. However, coming in a hurry and picking it off is Peterson, and the inning is over. So no runs, a double on an 0-2 pitch, a man left, and at the end of half an inning, Marlins nothing, Dodgers coming up. Run average certainly is the talk. Fernando Valenzuela, way back in '81, had an ERA of 0.2. Kenta Maeda has a 0.3. Pedro Estacio with the Dodgers, that was 0.8. And Clem Labine, great starter who became an even better reliever, an ERA of 1 in the first 4 starts of the career. So now it'll be Jim Bohr, big left-hand hitting first baseman, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Appeared briefly last night in the 8th inning and struck out. He has a very busy bat. That thing is always in motion, even when he is striding into the pitch. So the strike 1 pitch on the way, he takes a high strike, so he's in a hole 0-2. We can tell you they're in the top of the 3rd inning in Arizona. The D-backs are leading the Cardinals 2-0. That's Michael Wacha and Robbie De La Rosa. Strike 2 pitch, nubbed out in front, but it hit him, so he'll come back in the box. No balls and 2 strikes. If you're wondering about the Giants, who are a half a game back of the Dodgers, they're off. They're in New York, and they'll play the Mets tomorrow night. Kenta Maeda gave up a double to Pardo. That's about it. Prado stayed at second base. Strike 2 pitch on the way, swung on, towering pop foul. Grandal coming over, trying to get under it, and it lands amongst 3. Amongst Seager, Maeda, and Grandal. So that means Bohr has a break. Ball apparently lost up in that powder blue sky for a split second, and all you need is indecision. There you can see Seager coming over, but it's behind him. And Maeda, who might have been able to direct traffic, just couldn't do it. So 0-2 the count, and Bohr back up there. Bohr, Suzuki, and then Realmuto. Strike 2 pitch on the way, waved at and missed, and down goes Bohr. And we have 1 out. When the great Ichiro left Japan and came over to play for Seattle, Maeda was 14 years old. Suzuki was the cream of the crop, the greatest player since Sadaharu Oh. Maeda didn't remember him, but he grew up idolizing Ichiro, and now they go head-to-head. Kenta into the windup. Right-hander's first pitch is swung on and fouled back, and the count 0-1. So it's a great moment. At one time in Japan, Ichiro pitched. That wasn't his job, but it was an all-star game, and he wanted to pitch. And what he wanted to do was pitch to a particular batter. Strike 1 pitch, and there, strike 2. He wanted to face Hideki Matsui. You remember him? Matsui was a World Series MVP against Philadelphia back in 2009. But it never came to pass. Here's the strike 2 pitch on the way. Maeda delivers, swung on and missed, and down goes Ichiro. The other night they met for the first time. As usual, they would bow to each other, and then Ichiro nails him. Again, it's 11 o'clock in the morning in Japan, and I'm sure there is a huge audience watching the confrontation tonight. So 2 down. Realmuto, who's caught every inning, up to the plate. Third hitter in the inning. Dodgers lead 2-0 in the first. Now we're in the top of the second with 2 strikeouts. Realmuto hitting .400 on the road. Maeda's drive is into right center, and he nailed it on the dead run as Jock Peterson, and this one clears the wall. So for Maeda, who came into the game having allowed 1 run in 25 innings, he is hammered now for a home run, and it's 2-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Realmuto has really put in some great work. Came into the game hitting .270, and that's his second home run. So 2 strikeouts, and then boom. And the batter is Adeiny Echeverria. And we're watching on television. Maeda kind of went, ooh, and then shook his head and dropped his head a little. Realmuto in the dugout. 2-1, favor the Dodgers. First pitch now to Echeverria, and that's fouled away. 0-1 the count. So 1 run in 25 innings, and then 1 run in an inning and 2/3 tonight. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Kenta delivers, check swing on a slider, and he's committed for a strike. 0-2 the count. Adeiny is a great fielding shortstop, but he is not hitting a lick. Coming into the game hitting .177. Strike 2 pitch, little high, 1-2 the count. Lovely evening in the ballpark. No breeze really. Oh, the flags are rippling a little, but just a zephyr to move them. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. Maeda delivers, down and away, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. People thought the Dodgers made a big gamble to sign him, but boy, that gamble looks great. The 2-2 pitch to Echeverria, and that's lifted to shallow straightaway center. Peterson comes up a few steps and makes the catch. So the Marlins get a run. 1 swing of the bat by the catcher, J.T. Realmuto, and at the end of an inning and a half, 2-1 Dodgers. Hold on to a 2-1 lead, and we go the 3rd inning. Jose Fernandez followed by D. Gordon and then Martin Prado. Kenta Maeda, the hardest thrown pitch he's made tonight was 91 miles an hour, and Realmuto hit it over the right center field wall. So let's see how he pitches. He's made 24 pitches, 10 in the first inning, 14 in the second. One thing the Dodgers do not want to do with Maeda is make him pitch a lot. High slider at 90, or maybe just a cutter. 1 ball and no strikes. The most pitches he has made in a game for the Dodgers, 98. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Fernandez. Maeda deals, drops that in nicely for a strike, and the count 1-1. Of course, you remember when the Dodgers signed him to an 8-year deal full of all kinds of conditions, the word was that he had a questionable elbow. 1-1 pitch on the way, chased and missed. 1-2 the count. So Maeda had given up 1 run in 25 innings and gave up a run in the second inning on the home run by Realmuto. The 1-2 pitch swung on, ground ball to short. Seager up with it. Fernandez barely jogging down the line, and we have 1 away. A reminder, Sunday at 1:10, Dodgers and Padres, and the first 15,000 kids receive a replica Corey Seager jersey presented by High Chew. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. So Corey working on the gum. Maeda working on D. Gordon. Gordon takes a look at a slow freight that gets right through the legs of Grandal, and it's a strike. That thing barely got up there, and D's kind of saying, really? But he's not saying a word. No balls and 1 strike. Maeda ready and comes back to Gordon, who slaps it to third. In position is Kenta. Throws him out easily. So 2 down in the 3rd inning, and Martin Prado coming up.
For 14, Martin
Prado doubled in the 1st inning, inside 3rd, down the line. Terrific player, terrific leader. All around, quite a guy. Tremendous respect throughout baseball. And Martin hitting a cool .373. Prado has been in 17 games, counting tonight. They played 20. This is number 21 for the Marlins. They're in 4th place, 5 games behind Washington. And they have a good ball club. I mean, you start watching the Marlins every day and you realize this is not a poor Miami team at all. Next pitch is a little low. Don Mattingly has, among others, Wei-In Chen. Then last night, Riccolino. And besides Nicolino, the big man tonight. So there's 3 pretty good pitchers. 2-1 favor the Dodgers. There's Nicolino. Boy, did he sweat it out last night. Tough ball game, but he came up with a win. 1-2 pitch on the way. Reach for, hit over the head of Utley into right center for the base hit. So Prado just goes with where the ball is. He just went with it. It was down and away. So he has a double and a single. And that means Yelich coming up, and that means a tough hitter. Even tougher than Prado. So Christian, big boy at 6'4", filling out. Become a wonderful hitter, batting .366. Dodgers have done a good job of quieting him so far in the series. But he's that kind of a hitter so far, and then boom. Maeda delivers, curveball fouled away. Big slow curve inside. Yelich comes into the game having hit 10 of 11 road games, 4th in the league in hitting with a .371 batting average, and so far he's given up 5 points tonight. 2-1 Dodgers, top of the 3rd, 2 out, Prado at first, and the pitch down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Marlins have won 4 straight. Dodgers have lost 3 straight. The Marlins playing much better ball on the road than at home. 2-7 at home, 7-4 on the road. And the pitch is lifted foul off first, well back into the crowd. That's going to take a little bit of time to come down. And it takes a kangaroo bounce and goes back up a good 10 rows. 1-2 the count to Christian Yelich, the pride of Westlake High School. Waiting on deck, Giancarlo Stanton. The pitchers, I'm sure, have a tendency to be thinking about Stanton while pitching to the hitter ahead of him. 1-2 pitch is low. 2-2 the count. So Prado at first with 2 out. Dodgers 2 runs, 3 hits. Marlins 1 run, 3 hits. Dodgers had Utley single, Seager walk with 1 out. Grandal doubled, a ball that Ichiro might have caught 5 years ago, but not tonight. 2-2. Maeda ready. Here he comes. Off speed, a change floating away. Ball 3. That thing came up at 74. Dodgers also got lucky. That little bloop over the mound. Gordon charging, didn't have a play, and the Dodgers have the go-ahead run, and Roberts will take them any way he can, and D was really frustrated. So as Gordon watches, the 3-2 pitch coming up. Maeda delivers, breaking ball swung on and missed, and it was up around somewhere around the eyes. So Yelich strikes out. No runs ahead, a man left. Take another look. Up and maybe away, and the Dodgers lead 2-1. At LA is brought to you by the Dodge Challenger. Test drive one at your local Dodge dealer today. And by Jack in the Box. Taste the Bacon-licious sourdough bacon ranch combo. Only at Jack in the Box. One of those things where East meets East. And of course for Maeda, it is a thrill. He worshipped Suzuki before television and before he got over here. So Maeda out in front 0-1. Stanton started his swing. They're going to check. No swing. 1 ball and 1 strike. As we've pointed out throughout the series, if a right-hander is pitching, Giancarlo wears the mask to protect the left side. He had that terrible beanie 2014. He takes it off when a left-hander is pitching. But boy, that's the mental side of the game. How in the world, after really having your face crushed, can you come back and hang in there on 96-mile-an-hour fastballs? And big swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch. Though if Stanton is looking from a fastball from Maeda, it's very doubtful. The one fastball he uncorked was 91 miles an hour, and that was the pitch that Real Muto hit for a home run. 4 strikeouts for Maeda. 4 strikeouts for big Jose Fernandez. Now the batter, Justin Bour, and the count 0-1. Really doesn't make much difference if Maeda gets in front of the hitter or not. When he's behind 1-0, he comes right back at the batter at a great rate. Here's the strike 1 pitch. That's away. Despite the fact that the batters might be in front of the count, 1 ball and no strikes, you know what they wind up hitting? 114. There's the 1-1 pitch to Justin Bour. Kind of waving that bat, but held back. 2-1. Bour, as you well imagine, just looking at him, is a power hitter. No mistake about that. Chris Johnson playing a couple of games at first, and now Bour is back in there. 2-1, high, and he went after it anyway. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball up out of the zone, and the count 2-2. Way up above the shoulders by the time it got to the mitt. But he's that kind of a hitter. He'll miss a lot, but when he hits them, boom. 2-2 pitch coming up, and that's lifted down the right field line. Puig coming over. The ball is right on the line, and Puig comes over in foul ground, and he's furious as he dropped the ball. Yasiel had to come a long way, and finally, I'm sure, right there, he wasn't quite sure where he was. Now he's mad at himself because he had more room than he thought. See, he had some room, and it hits his glove to really concentrate. He's ready to punch the wall. Instead, he decides to kick it. So when you run that far, have the ball hit your glove, you expect you're going to catch it, but it would have been a tough play. All right, it's still 2-2 to Justin Bour. Maeda ready, and the young right-hander delivers. Change off the plate. 3-2. Bour used to be strictly a pull hitter. He's been going the other way a bit. Peterson plays him slightly in left center. And the 3-2 pitch, check swing, ball 4. So for Kenta Maeda, that would be his first walk given up. He takes pride in the fact that he throws strikes. Meanwhile, Yasiel is thinking, if I catch the ball, we have 2 out. Instead, 1 out and a man on first. But he is also thinking, I guarantee you, about striking out with runners at first and third. That's the one thing about an outfielder. They have a lot of time to think and destroy themselves. So 1 out, 1 on, and here's Ichiro. And ball 1. Suzuki with the incredible numbers and hitting .364. Will he have enough time to get to 3,000? Well, there's a lot of fans taking his picture. He doesn't come this way very often. 1 ball and no strikes. 4,221 hits if you count Japan. You want to split it. He has 2,943 hits here, and he had 1,278 in Japan. Idolized, indeed, and for good reason. 1-1. Lifting a little pop fly back a third. Kendrick in fair ground makes the catch. So Ichiro pops it up. 2 down, and Real Mundo coming up. Can you imagine the thoughts going in the mind of Kenta Maeda? He's standing there thinking, when I was 14, I used to watch Suzuki on television. And here I am pitching and getting him out. I struck him out in the 2nd inning. And I get him to pop up here in the 4th. So it's a big night for Maeda. For Ichiro, just another game. Two down, Realmuto coming up. Off speed, in for a strike. Realmuto hit that line drive over the right center field wall. He's caught every inning, so he's really been a workhorse. And hitting .281. Little nubber. Take a look at his home run, and especially watch Jock Peterson thinking it's going to hit the wall and come back to him. He got a fastball, and he certainly is strong enough. There's Peterson waiting, and he can wait a long time. So 2-1 favor the Dodgers. 4th inning. Realmuto's having a great time on the road. He's tied with Christian Yelich, hitting .400 on the road. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. JT Realmuto. Maeda being very careful against a man who just homered. Kenta ready, and the 1-2 pitch, slider, and he went after it and popped it up. Who will it be? It's going to be Gonzalez. So no runs, no hits, a walk and a man left. And at the end of 3.5 innings, a frustrated Puig trotting to the dugout. It's 2-1 Dodgers. 2-1 favor of the Dodgers. We move to the 5th inning. Adeiny Echevarria fly to center, 0 for 1. Then the big pitcher, Jose Fernandez, and then D. Gordon. So Kenta Maeda about ready. When he finished the inning in the top of the 4th inning, Maeda went back to the clubhouse. So here he goes in the 5th. Big, slow breaking ball, 71 miles an hour. That's the slowest change he's thrown. The hardest pitch, 91. And a lot of stuff in between. And that's going to be flared into right field. Going out for it is Utley. Juggles and holds on to it. Nice play by Chase. 1 down. Fernandez coming up.
Number 16, Jose Fernandez.
Whoop. Grab it again. And he did. So Utley, who rarely smiles, when he's out there, he is all business. And we have 1 down. Here's Fernandez at 6'3", gives you a pretty good strike zone. And ball one. Fernandez, born in Cuba, 6'3", 220. Only 24 in July. Off speed and up, and he went after it. When Fernandez was a little kid, and he chases that one, all he would do is hit rocks with a stick. He'd take a paper sack from his home, and he'd go searching for rocks that had to be a good size, like a baseball, and he'd spend his day hitting them with sticks. Winds up not a hitter, but a pitcher. So we have two down. Fernandez laughing over chasing that pitch. Two down, D. Gordon coming up. Gordon grounded to short, grounded to third. Dodgers always look bunt with D. He had a great at-bat. They're still talking about it against the Mets. A 16-pitch at-bat and a base hit. Maybe some of you remember Alex Cora, who had a similar at-bat here at Dodger Stadium. 1-1. Two to one in favor of the Dodgers. We're in the fifth inning with two out. Maeda missing inside, 2-1. Change, and it jocks. No swing. It barely made it, and Gordon able to hold up, and he's talking to Grandal. As if to say, how could you call that kind of a pitch? 3-1. Little ground ball over to gather it in. Adrian to the bag. So down goes Gordon. 5 in a row retired since the walk to Bohr. And at the end of 4.5, it's still 2-1 Dodgers.
1961, 5 days after his 40th birthday, Warren Spahn pitched a no-hitter against the Giants. Spahn not only pitched the no-hitter, he beat Sam Jones, won the game 1-0 on a base hit by Henry Aaron to drive in the run. And as far as the totals are concerned, Spahny won 290 games and 52 shutouts. One of the all-time best. Let's go back to this one.
Oh, 0-1 the count. Martin Prado will start it off. Boy, just mentioning his name, remembering what an artist Warren Spahn was. There's a hopper to short, a lot of English on it. Seager makes the play, 1 away. The other night we were talking about the fact that the big delivery has pretty much disappeared. Spahn, however, had a big windup and looked like he was going to send his foot up into the sky. It was that kind of a windup. He was as good as it gets. Spahny had a tremendous sense of humor, and he was a rarity. If I were pitching for a living, I would certainly take care of my arm, and I would only use it a certain time, the way they do today. Not Spahn. Ball one. Spahn would chase fly balls in between stars and throw to the bases like he was a regular outfielder. So he was totally different. Of course, the game was totally different. Like people say, what's the difference, if there is any difference, between Kershaw and Koufax? Well, first of all, Koufax and all of his pitchers pitched every 4th day. Clayton pitches every 5th day. But then if you look up, the numbers are unbelievable. Sandy striking out an unbelievable number and coming up with 28 complete games. You don't get 28 complete games on an entire staff in the big leagues today. Yeah, it was a total game.
Totally different. 2-1. Ground ball off the glove of Kendrick, down the line. Over to get the ball is Crawford, and holding on, Christian Yelich with a base hit, and that brings up Giancarlo Stanton. So Yelich 0 for 2, now 1 for 3. Kendricks could not come back and get it. So Maeda facing his first real challenge since he got out in front. Facing Stanton with a man aboard. 1 out, 6th inning. 2-1 Dodgers. Peterson is deep, shaded towards right center. That's a strike. The home run that Stanton hit most recently wound up in the black background in dead center. They make that black so the hitters won't lose the ball. Well, he lost the ball with the bat. 1 ball and 1 strike. Miami leaving here. They will go to Milwaukee, and the Dodgers dig in for the San Diego Padres. 1-1 to Giancarlo. Boy, he's a formidable looking fella. 6'5", 250. Two and 1. 1 out. 2-1 Dodgers. Yelich at first, held on by Adrian. Hernandez has made 79 pitches. Maeda now ready for 78. And a high fly ball, but that's all it is. Coming in for it is Crawford. Sounded like Stanton hit the ball at the end of the bat, though there was nothing behind it.
First baseman Justin Bour.
Of course, when he swings and makes contact, hitting a ball in the air, everybody snaps to attention. Right there. Just a fly ball. Two down, 6th inning. 2-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Giancarlo trying to figure it out. Justin Bour takes a strike. Kenta Maeda has struck out 4. Hernandez has struck out 7. Hernandez taken in with a hoodie. He'll be facing Puig, Crawford, and Kendrick when he goes out there in the bottom of the 6th. 0-1. Christian Yelich came up with a base hit to extend the inning. He is not much of a base stealer. Christian has stolen 1 and he's been caught twice. Of course, Bour, left-hand batter, and the Dodgers have the triangle out there. Seager all alone on the left side. The middleman is Kendrick, and he's way out on the grass. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 4 hits for the Marlins. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And waiting, Ichiro. And popped up. Who's going to get it? It will be Peterson, and that'll be that. So a nice inning from Maeda. Gave up the base hit, but then got by Stanton and Bour. It'll be Puig to start it off in the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 Dodgers. Top of the 7th inning, 2-1 in favor of the Dodgers, and Ichiro will start it off. Ichiro, back in 2011, donated $1.25 million
to the Japanese Red Cross with the earthquake and terrible tsunami. That's a strike. Ishiro's the honorary chairman of the Ichiro Cup. That's a 6-month-long boys league tournament with more than 200 teams. He watches the final game, attends the ceremony, etc., and hits a little flare, and Seager makes the catch. One thing you can bet, the Dodgers are counting Maeda's pitches. In the 4 previous games, he made 84, 95, 98, and 94. So I don't think that Rick Honeycutt and Dave Roberts are thinking about letting him go to pitch 115 or anything like that. Realmuto, who hit the home run to account for Miami's run, homered and popped up 1 for 2. A lot of time, most of the times tonight, when you see a Miami hitter swing and miss, he's missing by a lot. I mean, he's really fooled. Then showing that high fastball. 1-2 the count. Maeda has struck out 4 compared to the 8 strikeouts by Fernandez. Check swing foul. Cody Edgy is up now in the Marlin fish tank, as they call it. Young left-hander. He came in briefly last night. Did not pitch well. He walked the hitter that he faced. One and two. Fouled away. Realmuto putting up the big numbers on the road, hitting 400 and homered tonight. 1-2 to the catcher. Slider, and he went with it, fouled it down the line. J.P. Howell gets up in the Dodger bullpen. Again, talking about pitch count. Maeda's at 90. The most pitches in a game for him, 98. So the Dodgers watching him very carefully. Down and away, 2-2. We were talking about Warren Spahn and when they pitch 4 days, every 4th day. And looking at Maeda, you have to think he couldn't do it. I don't believe he'd be big enough, strong enough to pitch every 4th day. And that's going to go down the line, hooking, foul. In fact, a couple of things that Maeda had to get over. Number one, you pitch every 5th day here. I think in Japan they pitch once a week. And the other thing, the baseball that they use in Japan is smaller than the ball that is used in the United States. He's about 155 pounds, maybe 160, but no more. Heck of a pitcher. 2-2. And that's looped into shallow right center, drops for a hit. So Realmuto going after that pitch, flares it into right center, tying runs aboard. Say, don't forget, join us early this Sunday for Viva Las Dodgers, presented by State Farm and Time Warner Cable. family-friendly pregame festival held at the historic 76 station. Entries free with a game ticket. So for more information, visit Dodgers.com/Viva. All right, base hit. 1 out, tying run aboard. And a slumping Adeiny Echevarria hitting just 172. And a line drive base hit. Notice the pitch count now. He's made 94 pitches and he's given up back-to-back singles. 1 out, and we'll see about a hitter for Fernandez. So do they get him now? Do they wait? We gave you the numbers. Derek Dietrich, a left-hand hitter and a third baseman, is coming up. Dietrich played earlier in the series. Though Jose Fernandez pitched a great game, but so far Maeda has outpitched him. Jose, 89 pitches, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, and the difference in the game is a 70-foot pop fly that landed behind the mound. Gordon could make a play and a run scored. So now let's see, the interpreter goes to the mound. Well, you have a left-hand hitter coming up. Will Irriton, the interpreter, talking to Maeda. They all seem to be in agreement, nodding yes. All right, after 94 pitches, he's in trouble. 2 on, 1 out. J.T. Howell had been throwing in the bullpen. Derek Dietrich, a .333 hitter. He has 1 home run, 6 runs batted in. Pedro Baez is now up. So 2 on with 1 out. And at his feet, a throw down, but not in time. Nice play. First of all, Grandal had to dig that thing out. Almost hit him on the foot, and then Grandal comes up, takes a shot. How quick Grandal was, not only to make the play, but also to see possibly the runner with a bigger lead at second base. Probably he thought ahead, which all the good players do. If there's a pitch in the dirt, that guy at second might try to move over and I'll take a shot at him. Meanwhile, our pal Wallach has been on the phone. And time. The umpires now. Oh, it's an equipment change. Well, let's see. They're going to review. Bill Miller with the headset. Here's the throw, and you can see Seager. Did the hand get on the bag? Looks like it's under his knee. Did he keep the hand on the bag? Well, it's pretty well blocked, isn't it? That was a wonderful play by Yasmani Grandal. First backhanding, knowing a runner instinctively would move off the bag, and he fired down there. You have to really squint, don't you, to look under the knee. Gordon, Yelich, Stanton, all watching. Bob Guerin on the phone. 2 on, 1 out. Tough game. 7th inning, 2-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Echevarria deeply interested. That's the play. Did the hand come off?
Well, it looks like the right leg blocks you. The pitch, by the way, bounced, it looked like, on the left foot. If that's so, then Dietrich is hit by a pitch and the bases are loaded. So there's a lot going on here. And the way he reacted, it looks like he was hit by the pitch. So Wallach wants to look, and the Dodgers want to look at Seager. And guess who's on the phone? So two decisions with the hitter and the play at second. A big decision. If Dietrich is not hit, you have 2 on, 1 out, and he's still at the plate. If he's hit on the foot, the bases are loaded with 1 out. All right, Bill, what's the decision? We're still not sure. So obviously it was not a hit batter on the foot, and obviously safe at second. So Dietrich back up. So it really was, although we kept looking at the play at second, it was the pitch that almost hit Dietrich on the left foot. 1 ball and 1 strike. Maeda now 96 pitches, the most, remember, that he has pitched this year, 98. Baez and Howell behind him in the pen. 1-1. That's a strike. Maeda with his usual great control. He has walked 1. Now ready to make 98 pitches, the most that he has made this year. D. Gordon on deck. Line drive foul. Boy, that thing was ripped. Dietrich played a little third base and did well, but then when Martin Prado came back and joined the club, he took a seat. One and 2. Jammed him, but he was able to foul it off. So Dietrich giving it a good battle. Jose with the hooded jacket on, he's done. Dietrich is trying to get him a win or even a tie. So this would be the most pitches he's made this year in one game. Number 100. Got it. So Dietrich is caught looking to strike out. 5 strikeouts for Maeda. And now D. Gordon coming up. Take a look. 2 on, 2 out. Gordon is 0 for 3 with ground balls. 2-1 Dodgers, 7th inning. Fastball is hit into left field. Running around third is Realmuto. Throw to the plate, not in time. So D. Gordon comes up with a base hit to tie up the game. And Maeda allowed to make 101 pitches. Jose Fernandez delighted. He's off the hook. And of course now Maeda has to worry about a loss. So Gordon just slapped that little fastball that was running away from him. Didn't try to pull it. Just slapped it into left. And Realmuto, who had a good lead, is able to get to the plate and score. So we have a 2-2 tie, and Dave Roberts is on his way out to the mound. So it's one of those things. He was doing well. He had made 98 pitches, pushed it a little bit more, and the 101st pitch cost him a game. So they'll be going to the bullpen, and we'll be going for a pause, and we'll be back. Two runs, 7 hits, struck out 5, walked 1. Most pitches this year was 98. Tonight 101, and the 101st pitch cost him the ninth. Kike Hernandez will now take over at third and bat ninth, and the pitcher Pedro Baez will bat in Kendrick's spot. So when the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th, they'll have Peterson, Hernandez, and Utley. Pedro, hard throwing as you know, 13 strikeouts, 4 walks. And Martin Prado, the veteran, coming up. The runners at first and second belong to Maeda, and we have 2 out. Prado double, single, grounded out. Ground ball up the middle. It's going to go through. Here comes Echeverria. He will score. Over to third goes Gordon, and it is 3-2 in favor of the Marlins. So now, with that base hit, after all his hard work, Jose Fernandez could be the winning pitcher. And for Kenta Maeda, he could take the loss. So Prado comes up with his 3rd hit, a double and 2 singles. Echeverria scores, Gordon to third, and look at Jose. Direct contrast, huh? So Baez gives it up. First and third with 2 out. And here's Christian Yelich. Yelich 1 for 3. 3-2 Marlins, 2 down. Runners at first and third. Gordon coming down. He made him balk. He sure as heck did. D. Gordon came down, made a quick lunge, and Baez broke his delivery on the mound. Wow, what a steal that is for D. Gordon. He just stole Baez's wallet, and it's 4-2. Watch Gordon. See that? And right away, you couldn't see Baez, but he broke his delivery while being on the rubber. It was a cinch balk all the way. That's a strike. D. Gordon with a towel over his head, coming up with a huge play to steal a run, which is also charged to Maeda. So he's charged with all 4 runs. Prado with his base hit is at second on the balk. He belongs to Baez. Breaking ball and a dandy. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Marlins, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. The Marlins trying to sweep a 4-game series and leave here with a streak of 5 in a row. Dodgers trying to survive. They've lost 3 in a row. 0-2. Curveball hit foul. Yelich flied to left, struck out, single to left. Jose talking to Juan Nieves. When they go to Milwaukee, that's when Nieves pitched a no-hitter quite a few years ago. So the pitching coach looks like they're talking about hitting. 0-2. On the hands, fly ball to left. Late start, but coming up for it and making the catch. Crawford puts it away. However, talking about putting it away, 3 runs up against Maeda, and the big one, the killer by Gordon. 4-2, Miami.